Is this thing on?
Ahoy, my hearties. How are we this week?
Hello, everyone.
Ahoy, my hearties. We are here. We don't have the Hanta virus yet.
We're not getting it.
You never know. In this modern day.
I'm pledging to myself not to get it.
You never know. We have famously outlasted a pandemic on this podcast. So
Yeah.
we have dictated history. And I must, at the top of the show, point out, if you have been a long time listener of Uncensored Radio, and I do mean listener, because today's show will be the 1400th audio episode. Crazy times. 1400 episodes.
1400 episodes, I know.
That's crazy. Over what? 2011.
A lot of years.
Nearly 12 years.
Yeah, more. Is it more than that? 2011.
Yeah, but
it's 2026. That's 15 years.
Oh my god, there we go. Yeah, I'm just thinking about all the the time off and the repeats.
We had time. We had downtimes, yes, but
there was downtime.
It's 15 years from start to present.
1400. That's 1400 episodes.
I know.
That's nearly 100 episodes a year.
Well, there was that one year we nearly killed ourselves. We were doing 5 episodes a week.
You guys were living the dream back in the day. 5 episodes a week.
Living the dream. We were all on the verge of tearing our hair out.
That's why there's only 2 of us here now. Everyone else
and only 2 episodes
have a mental
a week.
Health break. We are manning the ship while everyone else is having life issues, but it's all good. If the people on the Hanta virus cruise can man the lifeboats, we can man the lifeboats. We will keep this ship sailing.
Oi, me matey.
I know, right?
Tie myself to the mizzen.
Yes. As long as we're not the band on the Titanic, that's fine. We're playing as the ship goes down. It has, yeah. Look, we've been playing when the ship goes down a few times, but it's always when we think the ship's going down that more people end up watching and we pick up people. We are very, very grateful for that. But it's
yes, thank you for watching.
Stressful on
listening.
The psyche. If your first time watching or listening, we would love a little bit of a like, a share, a follow, do all the things. We just do this as our little pet project love office moment. So if you do not like, follow us, all that kind of stuff, do the thing, be the thing. Give us some ratings up on Spotify, because our listeners have picked up, and so the ad revenue's gone up a little bit. So if you are on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, give us a bit of a rating.
Yeah.
A good one. A good one would be nice. A couple of stars, A couple of stars would be lovely. That's my plea to the people to start with. I mean, can only beg so much. We were just talking as the show started that we are in similar climates for once.
I know. We're both freezing.
We're both cold. The winter has arrived here. I'm like, ooh. So,
and the winter
very, very
can't
chilly.
leave here.
Well, it never really leaves here, does it? That's the problem.
We get warm in August and July, but usually for the last 10 years.
Dogsy might be angling for a seat on the panel. We would love to have you. We would love to have you.
We would love to have you back, dogs. It's been a hot minute.
Joe's freezing.
Joe's the one that has to melt in the summer.
Winter has just arrived out of nowhere. Yesterday it was warm, and then today it's just
like, like crazy hot in Joe's.
It does, but
part of the woods.
Everywhere in Australia is just like, no, we've decided it's now winter. We love that for us.
Winter's decided it's staying. I hate that for me.
She's moved in, hasn't she?
She's a little bitch.
Well, look, at least you're never alone. You've always got winter.
Yeah.
What a great company
That and
to
a
keep.
$400 heating bill will keep me warm.
Or something, you never know. Desperate times call for desperate measures.
Yeah. Don't make me get a man, Winter.
It is all love. But yeah, we are, as we have just discussed briefly, we are always on the lookout for some new people to share our points of view or share their point of view. So if you know somebody that you think would be a great guest panelist on Uncensored Radio, please hit us up on any of our socials, actually. And I'll get back to you because I'm here. I'm here. As once famous catch cries of this show. I'm here. Hi, Julie.
Hello.
How are you? Hold on. Well, Dogsy, I've been sweating. I've been putting in a knee gate all day. I'm not built right. Yeah, the sun can be unforgiving. We are in Australia.
Well,
we
he's
in Australia
Southern Cal, isn't he? You're in SoCal.
Yeah. They freak out when
heat.
it rains for more than a day.
Yeah.
Everyone forgets how to drive, and it's seasonal depression. It's a thing.
It rains all the time here.
It does.
It's like living in the Pacific Northwest.
It's like living. Well, it's kind of cool. It's not. It's like a nice. It sets a mood. Is what I'll say. It does set a mood.
The Sylvia Plath kind of mood, like you.
Look, I liked it. It was nice in Halloween, like
It's great at Halloween.
Wind blowing down the streets, changing leaves. I felt very Haddonfield. I felt very Laurie Strode. I felt very Jamie Lee Curtis. I was like, oh, I love it. And then especially when I came over at Christmas and it was snowing, and then Jeff and the boys would leave in the morning, and I'd be there going, "Hello." The house is quiet. What's going on? What's happening here? Then I go back to bed. I reckon that those first couple of days, I went back. I just slept. I needed a bit of a mental reset. It's been a very busy time, and I was just like, I don't think, because I remember you going, "How are you? What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm sleeping." I'm like, "We'll catch up. I'm sleeping." I'm sleeping. I didn't see anyone, I don't think, for those first couple of days.
Yeah, you did mention to me that you hadn't seen anybody because Jeff and the boys were gone all day and you were sleeping.
I was hibernating. Yeah. I didn't even see Katie that time because Jeff picked me up from the airport that time. So I was Katie's more usually my entourage and personal chauffeur when I arrive. As much, with much love. Uncensored Horace Kane McCarthy, we appreciate your efforts on my behalf to get me where I need to be. Oh, well, should we just start to discuss what is happening in this wonderful world of ours?
God, yes, let's jump right in.
All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Time for this
hot load of hot topics.
Now, we've talked about the diseased boat that's floating around.
Well, everything old is new again with this administration. Why not bring back the Hanta virus?
Oh, look. A quarantine would be nice, though, wouldn't it?
Well, these are the anti-quarantine people.
I'm not anti-quarantine.
Trump administration has dismantled the World Health Organization in this country and the CDC.
That's all right. We're going to drink brown milk and do a backflip and not circumcise your kids and all that kind of stuff, and everything will be fine.
Because, circumcision causes autism. Wormler.
Fax machine with a paper jam. Let me tell you about how to be healthy. Really? We're going to trust you. We'll start with some breaking news, a developing story. Welsh singer Bonnie Tyler has been placed in induced medical coma.
I heard this.
After a little bit of a post-surgery drama I think she was in Portugal, I believe.
Yeah, Portugal.
And yeah, they took her because
they were reporting.
Yeah, she
It's
had
a heartache.
Yeah,
Nothing but a heartache.
She had emergency surgery last week for perforated intestine, and then was taken to hospital, and then everything was apparently fine until the update
until we got
today
complications.
That she's been placed in a medical induced coma, which isn't necessarily always like horrible. It's serious, but it's
medical procedure.
It's to give the body a chance to recover without stresses and stuff like that, correct?
Right, correct.
Yeah.
A very commonly used medical procedure.
Oh. We love you, Dogsy. It's but I think when you hear the especially coma, I think people are very uninformed about what a coma is, because we go, Sonny von Bulow.
It's a drastic it's a drastic thing.
Yeah.
It's only designed to save lives. You don't go into a medically induced coma unless it's absolutely necessary.
Well, they put Madonna in a medically induced coma when she had the sepsis thing a couple of
last year. Is near fatal.
Yeah, that's what sepsis, that's
yeah.
Very,
sepsis
very close.
Very life-threatening.
So
high risk of mortality with sepsis.
Yeah, so good vibes to Bonnie. We're sending them her way. It seems to be ill celebrities in the news this week.
Oh, yep. Well,
look. The thing is, there's no disclosure as to what the medical issues for Dolly Parton are.
I thought that it was a continuation of a problem she had previously.
Well, I can't find any information about it.
I saw a statement this morning when I got up, and I'm not going to remember the source, but as I read it, it said that she had not completely healed from her last illness and she needed time to recuperate because she can't get dizzy while standing on heels and singing a song.
This is Dolly's. We'll tell the story. Dolly Parton's officially cancelled her long-awaited Las Vegas residency return due to her ongoing health issues. She was meant to take the stage at Caesar's Palace this year for a variety of dates, but she has had to obviously cancel. Dolly says, "I wish I could be there. I need to get well before I can give you the show you deserve." She also joked about the reality of performing while unwell, saying she can't be on stage in heels feeling swimmy-headed. Which is what her grandmother used to call getting dizzy. So she couldn't be swimmy-headed.
Swimmy-headed.
Bless. But she seems okay. Dogsy says kidney stones, which is a motherfucker. But yeah, I don't think the world's ready to lose Dolly Parton. But
no.
At universe.
Not today. Not today, Satan.
She's a how is she? How is she 80?
I think she's 80. She's at least late 70s. Right? I can Google it. I got my phone.
I think she's 8. I believe she's 80. And it's like that you're doing anything is impressive, and that you are wanting to still perform and actively entertain your audience. I'll have a second heart attack if that happens. We don't want that to happen either. Okay, we need to keep everyone, especially our viewers. Yes. We need to keep our viewers alive. So just look after yourself, Dogsy.
All of them.
Some days it's a bit thin on the ground with the viewership.
Joe gave us a scare. Now Dogs is talking about another heart attack.
Don't be doing that. Don't be doing that. But considering her male counterparts of all, except for Willie Nelson, God knows what's keeping Willie Nelson alive. Weed.
For
everyone that argues against marijuana, it's like, well, look at Willie. Look at Willie Nelson. He's still kicking.
Look at Willie Nelson and look at Keith Richards.
Yeah, well, that's a mix of substances. I think that's keeping Keith.
That's weed and preservatives.
I think he's just pickled himself through all the drug use and drinking and all the good stuff that he's done over the years. It's like, well, that's firmly cemented you as
Dolly just turned 80 in January.
There you go, man. Also, another historic birthday. David Attenborough is 100.
I know. Can you believe that?
100. That's amazing.
That's pretty amazing.
Again, somebody else in the world probably isn't ready to lose at this stage. It's like, no, not David Attenborough. It's too much.
Meanwhile, the ones we see obituaries we're praying for never come.
That's what happens when you sell your soul to the man downstairs. Eternal life is eternally painful for all of us. Eternally painful for all of us. But
indeed,
we persevere. Another story that I still won't put him on a banknote. I know it's the kind of thing you've got to wait for till people die, sadly, isn't it?
Yeah.
They've got to have that legendary status, and then we'll put you on money, unless you're someone we know who just wants to be on everything. Mandated popularity.
It will be the death of paper money if it happens. We will go completely electronic.
You have to turn it. Yeah, well, you have to turn everything orange.
Yeah.
Won't be a green banknote anymore. It should be orange. We like finality. We like resolution. There's some resolution stories this week. Well, kind of resolution stories happened as we talked about it last week. But Brittany's out of rehab.
Yep.
That looks like an Ugg boot, so that means and she's got a foot on the dashboard, so everything's normal back in Brittany world. She has been charged with her DUI. Developing story as to what will happen there, as to how that will affect whatever's going on with her world, and I'm sure there's plenty of drama in the
it's always we wish
the
the best
Spears
for
family.
Brittany.
Yeah, we just want I just keep the Spears family away. But when those kids are living in that house, it's not a good sign. It's not a good sign.
Well, that's all she's wanted for so long, was to have her boys back in her life.
Yes. Questionable motives, though, there. Questionable motives.
know. I do know.
Now, questionable motives. We covered this first story when it broke over a year ago. But it looks like there's a resolution in the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni case.
I think that might have changed as of 7:00 tonight.
Oh, okay. They had reached a settlement. They
had reached a settlement early Monday prior to the Met Gala. Many people were surprised that she showed up at the Met Gala.
Look, we will talk about the Met Gala. She did look good, though.
She did look great. But she lost on 14 different points in that lawsuit. And that's why people were surprised that she showed up. But today, apparently, she's going back into court to sue for damages and legal fees.
Yeah. I think this is just this is like the, I guess, bookkeeping end of it. But the main harassment and, all of those charges and that specific court case has been settled. And then they're going after, they're doing the lawyers are doing their due diligence now. They're going after legal fees and and loss of earnings.
But if she lost, those legal fees are hers to eat.
But they've both countersued. I think it's because they've both countersued each other and all that kind of stuff. Now it wasn't a clear cut thing,
right?
But who wants to work with either of them now?
No, I don't. Yeah, she's lost a lot. She's lost a lot of status and she's lost a lot of friends.
And he hasn't come out of it looking great either.
He was pretty fledgling in his career. I mean, he wasn't a household name until this. And now it's not a good name.
that's the whole point,
Yeah.
that he's kind of tarnished her reputation, and now he will.
Right.
He won't be directing a movie again anytime. A mainstream movie, independent possibly, but what studio is gonna
Right. And
pitch it started that wagon?
It wasn't a horrible movie. I did see it.
Yeah, well, from all accounts, the movie was okay. If that's it, that's your vibe, and people did enjoy it, but just this messiness behind the scenes, and there's a lot of speculation and allegation.
3 years later,
Yeah.
How many years has it been?
Just over a year, like a year and a half, I think. Yeah. I think the big allegations and speculations are the names that were being bandied about, big names like Taylor Swift, like industry people that are not happy that they are being dragged into it. Why this is being resolved out of court.
The scuttlebutt is that their friendship is on the outs.
Well, yeah, you don't fuck with Taylor's bank accounts, basically.
I don't think anybody could.
Well, not in this day and age, but I guess we'll see how it resolves itself completely. But it's a really difficult one because it is a very much he said, she said kind of thing, with both of them having supporters and both of them having detractors. And in a post-Me Too world, I feel like we've kind of even not gone backwards, but the progress that we had for allyship with victims is not as prevalent as it was a couple of years ago when
it's taken a few blows.
Strong. Yeah,
it has definitely taken a few blows.
But there's always going to be people that take advantage of stuff like that as well. Like, for everyone that's brave enough to step forward and have a legitimate moment and want a legitimate ruling, you get people that are going to cling on and do the weirdness, which segues perfectly into another story that has been blowing up, especially here in Australia. Rebel Wilson. Oh, that's the wrong one. We'll talk about them in a minute. Where are you, Rebel? There.
But that does fit me back too.
Yeah. Rebel Wilson and the drama behind the Deb, her directorial debut. This is some messy stuff, and doesn't really paint her in the best light either. It's questionable. So for people that don't know about the case, Rebel Wilson is currently embroiled in a really complex and very highly publicized spate of legal disputes surrounding her directorial debut, The Deb, and one of the lead actresses in it, Charlotte McGuinness, who is alleging that Wilson, Rebel, portrayed her as a liar who fabricated or strategically withdrew a complaint that a producer on the film had sexually harassed her during the making of the film, in return for being employed by that producer in a theater production and given a recording contract. And Rebel has been basically she's been accused of running a smear campaign against this girl, which is not a great look. We had this conversation. We had this conversation a couple of weeks ago about women believing women and standing up and feminism and solidarity. And why does that stop when there's money involved?
Yeah, if you carry water for the oppressor, you're on the oppressor's team.
Right.
But I've had a question mark with Rebel for a while. I can't say what made me wonder about her integrity, but I've always
had a bit of a
Yeah.
But there's
Like a
just something
little
about her
ick.
that
Not
makes me
a
go,
bad ick, but a little ick.
something questionable there. And
Yeah.
again, you fuck with someone's bank account and they're gonna come after you. And it's this gross power dynamic of somebody who has power and influence trying to stifle somebody down who doesn't.
But it also seems like somebody has power over her, so she's going to curry favor with power at the expense of other women. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And so Charlotte's saying that these attacks, these social media and public commentary have seriously damaged her professional reputation and opportunities. I mean,
probably. You know, when your career's starting out, you can't take a lot of,
especially when this is like your first major role. Oh God. And to like again, how does that stink doesn't wash off easily if this is your first role and someone's saying that you're opportunistic and unreliable? It's like, oh, okay.
Right.
I mean, there's always going to be that certain grift in Hollywood
that's a pretty
make it
damning
happen. But that's a big accusation.
That's a pretty damning assertion, yes.
Essentially, I mean, the casting couch has been around since there have been any kind of performing. And it didn't happen just when TVs and movies happened. Back in the day, you know.
Yeah, back in the days of Dionysus.
I'm sure in vaudeville people were currying favor with people to get lead headline spots and all that kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know why another woman would.
It's an unattractive
this
look.
Way. It's not a great look for somebody.
Unattractive look.
And Rebels, we talked about Rebel calling out Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah.
For his gross behavior on set. So she's experienced it. She knows what it's like to then turn around and try and discredit somebody else. You don't have to believe them, but you don't need to publicly name, shame, and discredit and dishonor their memory and all that kind of their memory. Sorry, I'm still in Michael Jackson territory.
Their reputation.
Their reputation. Thank you. My God. Hey, Lashana, how are you?
Hey.
But if you didn't check out our review of Michael, that was a big conversation as well. We had a very big conversation about Michael Jackson earlier this week. So if you have seen Michael and have some opinions, jump onto YouTube or wherever you watch or listen to the show and see if you agree with our mixed feelings on Michael. Mixed feelings. But that's another good segue. There's mixed feelings all around. Lisa Kudrow is back in the zeitgeist with the release of the third season of The Comeback. And she is shedding some light on Friends that doesn't really put the makers, or the writers at least, in a very good light. She's saying that it was quite a toxically masculine environment in the writers' room and on the set of Friends at times. So, with that in mind, this is what Lisa has to say. She says there was definitely mean stuff going on behind the scenes, and this was an interview with The Times, describing the environment in a largely male writers' room of 10, 12 to 15 people. Don't forget, we're recording in front of a live audience of 400, and if you messed up one of these writers' lines or didn't get the perfect response, they could be like, I can't believe this bitch. Can't this bitch fucking read? She's not even trying. She fucked up my line.
Right.
Which is ego. That's just...
Yeah, but there have been that kind of allegations at Saturday Night Live as well. Tina Fey
I think Saturday Night Live's quite a different thing as well.
But they've talked about how the male-dominating culture in the writing room was really toxic, and that men would, if a joke didn't land and a woman told it, it would always be the woman's fault and
Her
not
fault,
bad
not the
writing.
writer's fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? So, I mean, I've
Yeah.
heard interviews with Tina Fey and Amy Poehler that said similar things
Mhm.
about that writing room culture.
And I think that's why they are so much more women-centric at Saturday Night Live now as well.
Yeah.
There is a stronger female presence. But Lisa also talked about the Friends assistant Amani Lyle, who filed legal action of sexual harassment. And she says that she witnessed and was transcribing stuff in the writers' room when the writers were discussing sleeping with Jennifer Aniston and Courtney Cox, feigning masturbation, and receiving oral sex. Lisa says, we know that back in the room, the guys would be up late discussing their sexual fantasies about Jennifer and Courtney. It was intense.
Mm-hmm.
And these were the most powerful people on television for a hot minute.
Yeah.
So it proves that no one is immune to this kind of thing.
Mhm.
We just referenced the Me Too movement, and you know the
and this is
amount
why
of
it's
people that
still
have
more
affected.
as relevant as it always has been.
And
You know?
this is why we should believe people when they're telling us stuff
Yes.
like this, because
Well,
if these people who are still getting $20 million in residuals, $20 million a year for
I know.
Friends. Wasn't even that good a show.
I
Controversial
liked
opinion.
it.
Controversial opinion. I know. I'm sorry. I just didn't think it was that funny. But these people were making big money, and they're still subject to this kind of behavior
Mm-hmm.
just because they're women. Lisa also says it could be brutal, but these guys, and it was mostly men in there, were sitting there until 3 a.m. trying to write the show. So my attitude was, say what you like about me behind my back, because then it doesn't matter. And she credits the fact that she was married before the show became a hit, that she didn't cop that kind of scrutiny. And she says, for sure, and all because I was married early and outside of the business, no one was interested. There was no story.
Right?
But we've got to remember how fixated people were on Jennifer Aniston too.
Oh, yeah.
To a lesser extent,
Jennifer
Courtney
haircut.
Cox, but yeah, she was. What's the reason she has a movie career as well? Like,
Right.
what, she done Leprechaun before that? she wasn't like burning with her old
No.
nose. Dogsy says, I never got why dudes do that. I don't talking about how much I think Keira Knightley's a smoke show with my friends. We just talk about cars and what we did that week. It's performative masculinity, right? Is like it's what it is.
Well, girls sit around talking about how hot guys can be. We do, girls, women.
It's not.
But we're not talking about. Oh yeah, getting
it's
a
not the deep
blowjob.
Mechanics. It's not the deep mechanics of it. Graphic nature.
Yeah.
It's like performative masculinity, so I can be one of the boys. And look at how it's like. Oh, really?
Talk about getting the ick.
Yeah, talk about making somebody drier than the Sahara. Like that's not turning anyone on, is it?
No.
I don't think so. It's not doing it for anyone, I don't think.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so, but I think the $20 million a year for doing nothing is goes a fair way to making things okay.
None of them are complaining about it.
Yeah. I think that obviously with the loss of Matthew Perry as well, they have bigger things to worry about than things that have happened that are now, it's happened, it's uncontrollable, but it doesn't stop the need for making that behavior stand out and be known as unacceptable any less important.
We're getting closer. We're kind of feeling the pushback that Me Too's getting taken a couple of blows this year, getting a few bad knocks, but it's also moving forward too. Today in the United States, there were 3 NFL players who joined a lawsuit against Ohio State for sexual harassment. And when the men start speaking up, as much as I hate to say it, it adds credibility to what the women have been saying.
Yeah, especially straight white men, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not the straight white men.
The most maligned group of men in the world.
They're so lonely. They're so lonely.
They're so lonely. Those poor victims.
Lonely. What could happen? What could happen?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Another controversial moment is happening, and this is a bit of a horror movie, uncensored horror crossover. Actress Melissa Barrera has spoken out against Scream 7 and its cast. Now, there is a long story behind this. Melissa was the star, or one of the stars of Scream 5 and Scream 6, alongside Jenna Ortega and Mason Gooding and all those new people, and Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, David Arquette, etc., etc. But she was let go before the production of Scream 7 started due to her views on Palestine on social media and quite ardent activism, we'll say.
Is she pro-Palestine or anti-Palestine?
She's pro-Palestine.
Yeah.
So that was the reason. Well, she wasn't under contract for the film. This is the story. Because there is a big feeling in the community that you are either team Melissa or you're team Neve Campbell, because they're the leading ladies of the film, and the fact that Melissa her job was taken away. And look, should she have been fired for that? Everyone has freedom of speech.
Yep.
In your country, everyone has freedom of speech.
Technically.
Should she have been fired for it? No. But we've gone through a narrative process of her being a victim of disagreement of point of view, of political, of religious points of view, and all that kind of thing. But recently, she's flipped the script, and she's been at conventions and taking money and attending panels and all that kind of stuff with castmates from the franchise, and all that's fine. And she gave an interview saying that she was only ever really contracted to do 2 movies, and that it's fine. I've got closure. Everything's fine. Good luck to everyone else. But as she's out to advertise her debut on Broadway in Titanic, she's taken a big stab at the franchise that made her famous. She says the only way they were able to make that movie, Scream 7, after what happened, was to nostalgia bait it as much as possible. I think they lied about the numbers, the box office numbers, because Scream 7 is the highest grossing Scream movie. I don't think it made that much money. Okay, fair enough. But she goes on to say that the stars of those movies, so that she worked with, so Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, Jasmine Savoy Brown, Mason Gooding Jr., were essentially scabs. They were people basically crossing the picket line by working on the film that she was let go from. She said, "I 100%. I think they all are, and they have to live with that." Now,
yeah, the union in me objects to the word scab.
Because they didn't support your point of view.
There's no union action here. They're not undermining the greater good. They're only undermining her good, if it's indeed undermining.
And they should compromise their employment for her point of view, because she was more than happy to sign on to star in Scream 6 when Neve Campbell stepped away because she felt like she wasn't being paid what she should be. She was more than happy to take that opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely.
So does that make her
and
a
it didn't
scab?
doesn't that make her scab's a very specific term.
It's a very specific term.
It's for somebody who crosses a picket line. It's for an active negotiation situation. To call somebody, to use it so gratuitously, bothers the union in me.
And that's the thing. It wasn't a union. There were protests against the film, but it was protests against the treatment of Melissa Barrera. It wasn't unionized protesting against the film for its ethics or its treatment of
it's unfair treatment of the actors in general, or
it was
unfair pay rates, unfair violations of
working conditions,
of union standards. It's not a union issue.
Just because people didn't want to back you in your political / religious beliefs doesn't entitle you to call them a scab when you've done the same thing.
Right.
I have a big issue with people who say they have closure with something, but then will reopen the wound when it suits them.
I also have a big problem with people catastrophizing something that's personal when they would never, ever step out of themselves and see somebody else's point of view.
It is a big issue. And look, she is a young actress. She is very strong and in her beliefs. But you have to also realize that it might be a job for you, but you have to be responsible for what you put out into the world and realize that your points of view might not align with something that is not only a multi-million-dollar franchise, but a job for hundreds, if not thousands of other people. And they should all die on the hill that you choose to. Because her firing, I don't know if you can be fired if you're not under contract.
Right?
Her being let go.
Right. Or not renewed. Contract was not renewed.
Yeah, it wasn't. Just her option wasn't renewed. Yeah.
Right.
Like her stepping away from the franchise put that into complete turmoil, and they rewrote the entire movie. So it wasn't like these people were working on the same movie that was pitched to them initially. So how is it? It's like saying if your former workmates take another job,
then you should quit in solidarity.
That doesn't make sense either, because it's not the job that you were fired from in the first place. So it doesn't really involve you at all. You might have been the starting point for it to change, but it doesn't involve you. It's not the same project. It's not the same writers. It's not the same directors. It these are all new people, fresh ideas that had nothing to do with you. And she's even taken a bit of a swipe at Jenna Ortega, which is surprising.
But also, if you don't have that contractual protection and you choose to exercise your free speech. You are protected from the consequences of that. You know what I mean? If she was under contract and she was exercising free speech, then it would be a union issue. You know what I'm saying? It would be a legal issue.
It would be.
But she was not under contract, and she's made comments that have, it's a pretty hot button issue in Hollywood. You have lots of Zionists in Hollywood, and you have
2 years ago. It was 2 years ago.
Yeah,
at least when this was in development, if not longer. We have a lot of opinions, and the cast of this show has across many, many, many years, across 1,400 episodes. You've got to have the wherewithal and the fortitude to back that up, no matter what the consequences are.
Yes. You have the right to free speech, but you do not have the right to escape consequence for what you may or may not say.
Dogsy says, if you're bringing shit up like that at work, I'd probably be like, okay, I can see that it would be annoying or inappropriate, not the point of somebody getting fired. But if she does it, all of her activism on her own time, is no one's business but hers, which is true. But this is a very different beast when you're working for a company.
My point is she was not under contract.
No, she wasn't.
She lost a contract because of something she said politically.
That's unfair dismissal.
That's unfair dismissal. That's a violation of her rights. But she was not under contract. And the burden of proof becomes hers to prove that she wasn't, that she lost an opportunity because of what she said. And, and just saying that that's why she lost the opportunity does not make it so.
Well, they publicly, the makers of the film at that time publicly said, our views don't align, and she won't be appearing, which is not untrue.
Right?
I'm sure they had the legal department draw up that statement,
right,
down to a T. But you can't pick and choose when you are offended,
right?
Or when it behooves you to reopen that little can of worms, because she had a go at Jenna Ortega too, saying that activism and support in DMs doesn't mean anything unless it's made public. And
DMs,
well, this is and again, we have to take her word for that.
Mm-hmm.
The line from Jenna Ortega was always, it's a production issue, that she had other projects, Wednesday, all these other movies, Beetlejuice, that she was contracted to do, then she couldn't fit Scream into the window that they needed her for, so she stepped away from the project. And everyone, because they played sisters in the movie, everyone's like, oh, well, that's great solidarity, she's moved away because Melissa quit. But from what I remember, Jenna actually left the project first, and no one knew about it. So again, your narrative isn't necessarily reliable.
Yeah.
And I enjoy her. I think she's a good actress, but
I love the way her face mirrors the Scream face.
Well, she is the daughter of a serial killer in that movie. So there we go. But there is drama all around. We're going to get to some good news eventually. But have you heard of the term blue dot fever, Vera?
I have. I actually heard it a couple of times this week and went online to look it up.
It looks like the Pussycat Dolls are the latest victims of blue dot fever, essentially cancelling all dates of their US tour, which is due to start in a couple of days. Down to an honest look at their ticket sales. Now, this is bigger. We've covered the Pussycat Dolls reformation and what's going on there, but it's not just them. Post Malone has cancelled his tour. Meghan Trainor's cancelled her tour. Zayn Malik. Well, that's a medical thing apparently. But this is a common thing, and it's down to economics.
It's absolutely economics. That's where I was going to go. It's about
people.
The economy sucks. People can't afford a pound of ground beef and a gallon of gas. Why are they going to pay $400 to see,
Post Malone
an A- list star or a B star?
And it's worldwide, and I think that this is really going to, if this is the way things are headed, we need to look at Ticketmaster and stuff like that, the way that they run their business, the dynamic pricing that people are fighting against.
Yes.
As we talked about on the show, I tried to get tickets to Hilary Duff when she came to us.
Tickets to Bruce Springsteen.
Someone who hasn't toured in 20 years. Someone who hasn't toured in 20 years and, is not a powerhouse vocalist. Those tickets disappeared. The only tickets that were available that I could have gotten for one ticket, $400.
Oh yeah, my sisters and I have seen Bruce Springsteen a dozen times. We tried to get tickets to the Land of Hope and Dreams tour. With dynamic pricing, dynamic pricing put it way out of our price range quick. My sister was online at midnight, and by 12:10, it was out of our price range.
But And the problem is, a lot of these tickets are bought and then resold.
Yes.
They're not bought by actual customers, and then they price them up to make profit.
Yep.
This is gonna become a more common thing, where huge, and it will affect huge artists that won't be able to fill stadiums because of
right.
Anytime I think about even getting tickets now, I go, oh god, palpitations. Like, what's gonna happen? It's horrible thought. But yeah, I don't know. It just makes things very, very difficult to
blue dot fever.
Yeah, to make any kind of substantial plans. But at the end of the day, I know that artists also make their money touring these days. So it will affect them when they can't tour. And you've got to recoup the money for your albums and all that stuff. So I'd love to know how much people are paying for tickets at the moment if you've bought something. Let us know what you've spent.
Yeah, no.
I would love to know.
We will not be going to the land of hope and dreams.
There's no hope. There's no dream.
There's no dream.
Doctor said Ticketmaster sucks. I wanted to get tickets for Placebo in Cardiff for December, so I had my mum go to get the tickets. Save yourself 300 quid. Yeah, 100%. If you can go to the box office, sometimes you're going to get a hell of a lot cheaper than
but
trying to do it online. And they charge you a ticketing fee for a digital ticket.
Yes.
Handling fee for a digital ticket. Who's handling it?
Here in Central New York, the big arenas all go through Ticketmaster. You know,
they've got a monopoly.
They've got a monopoly on concert tickets.
Well, we'll change gears and go into some, I guess, happier news. There was a little bit of drama surrounding the Met Gala this year and its sponsors.
Yes.
I want to know where all that pee came from.
All the what?
Did you not hear about the protesters hiding tiny vials of pee around the venue at
no, I did
Met
not
Gala
hear that.
Because
that
of
was not
Jeff
reported
Bezos?
Here.
Oh, okay.
The portable bathrooms outside was reported, but not the pee in the venue.
The Met Gala, fashion is art. We'll talk about some looks in a second, but there were protests by people defending the unfair working conditions. It all circles around of Amazon employees because Jeff Bezos was a major contributor
sponsor.
Tiny vials of pee all around the area because his workers are infamously not allowed to take toilet breaks. So Vera picked some looks. So let's look at Emma Chamberlain first. As we said, fashion is art.
I love this.
Stunning.
I love this. It's giving me Van Gogh.
Right.
It's giving me Gauguin. It's lots of shades of artistry. And it's hand painted. The dress itself was hand painted.
Yeah, and she's just a reporter on the red carpet. You know, she's on the steps. Sorry, we don't do red carpet for Met Gala. How gauche. But she looked stunning and really brought it and embraced it. And then Sabrina Carpenter kind of amped it up in a totally different way. Now, you can't really see it that well on this photo, but her dress is actually made of film strip of the movie Sabrina. Which is we love a self-referential queen. Even her headband is like branded. Her tiara, is branded, but she looked stunning.
She did, and up close, looking at how the film was pieced onto this dress was pretty cool.
A work of art, fashion as art.
Fashion as art. It was very cool.
She met the brief, which a lot of people, there was some ugly.
There was a few
dresses.
People that missed the mark. Yes.
And for just classic beauty, I picked Tate McRae. She looked stunning.
She did look good. Absolutely.
Look at that.
That is lovely.
Stunning. And then, I'm sorry, I know that sometimes it's all about beauty, but nobody can ever top Heidi Klum, can they?
Well, let's talk about this because it's not pretty.
It's not pretty.
It's not pretty.
But fashion doesn't have to be pretty.
But fashion does not have to be pretty. And the art that she referenced is captured so well. It's a sculpture called The Veil, and I'm not going to be able to come up with the artist right now. And the artistry of that sculpture is making stone look translucent.
Sheer, yeah.
Yeah.
Translucent.
And this does capture that statue incredibly well.
Her commitment to stuff like this is amazing, though. Even her Halloween, she's very famous for her Halloween parties, and to the extent that she'll go for that. But that's a winning look, and it was something that was interesting and really eye-catching. And of course, the men were a huge letdown.
How many men are going to show up in a black suit?
I'm really sorry. I know everyone, and especially you, love the boys from Heated Rivalry. That was for somebody who is having a moment, a zeitgeisty pop culture, possibly once in your career moment. You're gonna wear one of them's gonna look like they've half lopped off a woman's dress and worn it as a top, and that's with a black tailored pant, and that's your fashion is art statement.
But I am going to defend these two. They're both working for a fashion house. So this is not their choice. This was picked by
bad choices, bad
by
stylists.
Yves Saint Laurent and Balenciaga. It's like you expect more from those two houses.
And that eye makeup was
I know I did like the eye makeup.
It looks like they did it. It looks like they did it at 10 a.m. and never touched it up.
I liked the eye makeup. I thought it was very dramatic. And when they referenced the Black Swan, when they talked about referencing the Black Swan, I thought the hair caught that too. I did like the eye makeup. My problem with the blue suit, with the Matador suit, is that I didn't feel it captured the art. There wasn't an artistic reference.
What's the reference?
And I also felt like the pants were not tailored to him.
No.
You know,
look, Lashana, did you see Jafar Jackson?
I thought Jafar looked fucking amazing. The outfit that he wore was so cool.
You are having a moment, and probably a once-in-a-lifetime career moment, and you wear a suit jacket?
I'm not thinking of the same person. I'm mixing him up with somebody else.
Jackson. You are playing Michael Jackson, and you wear a suit jacket. Like, he wore more interesting things in the movie.
Then I'm thinking of somebody else. I'm thinking of the wrong person.
I'm like, come on,
I think I'm confusing him with Somber.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, I am. Yeah, Somber looked pretty cool.
But Jafar Jackson just wore a suit. I'm like, you're playing Michael Jackson.
Who didn't wear a suit? I mean, come on. It's like,
you know.
Yeah, how many black suits did you see on that fucking runway?
Ugh, boring.
It's like, come on, man.
Boring?
Step it up.
Right. But possibly the most interesting part of the evening. Generations collide.
Yeah.
Sabrina Carpenter and Stevie Nicks. What a combo.
I know. I was not fond of Stevie Nicks' stare look.
She's just doing her thing, though. Stevie. I don't think she embraces
the theme, but I thought that the dress was wearing her.
That being said, Madonna looked amazing.
Madonna captured that painting to a T. When you see her outfit next to the painting inspiration, amazing.
I love it when Madonna's got something to promote. She goes all out.
Yeah. And the way that her win team was moving with her was pretty fun.
Cher looked great.
Cher did look great. I didn't think she was referencing.
It wasn't really referencing, but she was Chanel. I'm pretty sure she was brand ambassadoring as well.
Yeah,
but for a woman of her age, she looks stunning.
When the brand is dressing you, you got to wear what the brand is telling you.
She looked stunning though.
She did,
and she proves just because you are a woman of a certain age doesn't mean you have to put on a schmuck and go.
Oh yeah, Cher's always proven that.
Sexy. She looked amazing. Like. Congratulations, girlfriend. I mean,
oh yeah, in her 50s, she looked hotter than I looked in my 20s.
Look, Lashana, I don't think it was even about wearing the sequins. I just think it was about more embracing the theme, because the Met Gala is about the theme. Well, it should be, and he's playing Michael Jackson. You know, a man who was, and if you go back and watch our show, watch our review, we talk about how much of a well-rounded artist Michael was and created defining looks, music, production that have influenced things for...
And influenced all the artists of his time.
So why not embrace that? Why not embrace the Thriller look or Bad or something and really art it up? Because Michael created art. Michael created short films. Michael created these epic music scores. Embrace it. Don't just put on a jacket and go, yeah, I'm here. But I think that men just get away with doing the bare minimum, and everyone goes, congratulations, you did it.
And I've said it 3 times tonight. So many men, just Seth Meyers, Adrian Brody, all they did was put on a black suit.
This is the one time.
Yeah.
That you can throw caution to the wind. But again, I don't know how many people think of themselves in that way and how they can present art. You've got to have an artist's brain. And some of the thoughts are black suit.
I also think that men tend to be much more shy about fashion. You know? I mean, even as much as we criticize the heated rivalry guys, they were stepping outside, you know?
Yeah. Just not a big step. That was a toe outside.
The Matador suit? Come on.
Yeah, I'm talking more about the
secretary
black
top.
And white. Yeah.
With the gun show, man. The gun show was pretty hot.
I know, look. That was... I know, well, wear less clothing. Be the statue of David. Come on, just whack a fig leaf somewhere and be all good.
That man was born to be the statue of fucking David.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Oh, look, I've warmed Vera up, but it's time to boil over because it is time for Vera Van.
New headset that's so loud.
See, Vera, you got to get used to them.
I know, right?
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Van.
Well, I'm going to bring the temperature up a little bit. I'm going to talk about the unending conflict in the Middle East, which we're not allowed to call a war. And we stopped calling it an incursion because the president couldn't say incursion. He kept saying excursion like we were all going to Disneyland. But the last 24 hours looked so promising. At 4 p.m. today, there was a press release, a one-page agreement where both countries had agreed to a ceasefire and to reopen the Strait of Hormuz and given each other 30 days for negotiations to end this fucking conflict. And that statement was released and reported on at 4 p.m. And by 4:30, the ceasefire was in trouble. The United States Central Command issued a statement saying that they were firing defensive strikes against Tehran because they said that they were attacked by drones. Tehran is saying that they only fired back because U.S. was striking strategic targets, and they were taking out infrastructure, which is actually a violation of the Geneva Convention, but let's not hold this president to too much responsibility, whatever. So immediately after the release from CENTCOM, President Cipollini is on Truth Social blasting out insane fucking things, calling Tehran a lunatic country, saying that we were attacked by their decapitated Navy, you know, and then saying deranged things about their nuclear capabilities, which in July, he told all of us didn't exist. He was sure that he had solved the problem in Tehran and their weapons grade nuclear materials. And now he's saying that's the imminent threat. But if they had it, they haven't used it. He hasn't proven anyone. He hasn't stepped up before the United Nations. He has not consulted any of the allied nations. He hasn't consented with Congress to give any real rationale for this fucking conflict. He just continues to demand money, continues to make broad, sweeping allegations that he has no proof of, and he continues to get away with it with this Congress. I'm so befuddled and so upset. But in the 60 days since this conflict started, that he fucking started without good cause, the price of gas in this country has gone from $2.86 a gallon to $4.60 a gallon. Airline fuel has gotten so high that Spirit Airlines is already out of business. Other airlines are struggling, and travel's fallen off completely. Inflation is soared in 60 fucking days. It was already bad from his fucking tariff debacle, and now it's gone crazy. People can't afford their health care. They can't afford food. They're making choices between feeding their family and being able to commute to work. This is going on today in what is supposed to be the richest country in the fucking world. Experts are warning of a global recession brought about by the slowdown in oil production and the dissemination of oil. And military experts are warning this lunatic that we are running out of ammunition, that the stockpiles had not been rebuilt because we were at peace. And today, the New York Times also reported, when we've got military experts saying we don't have enough ammunition to carry out this conflict, that the administration sold $17 billion worth of munitions to other Arabic countries. This war has no strategy. It has nobody at the helm. We have no allies. They have no plan other than to just grandstand and to tweet outrage. It's beyond the pale. And Trump is losing a war that he started. He continues to talk as if he owns the moral high ground and he comes from a position of power when all the world sees is his fucking weakness. And all we see is the fucking fallout. I don't know what's going to wake the average man up. I know he's underwater on this polling from the war, but for God's sakes, if you live in a red district and you have a congressman who's supporting this, get on the phone, call them 10 times a day and say, stop funding this fucking war, and make sure you tell them that we aren't paying $1 billion for that goddamn ballroom that he said he was going to get paid for with private funds and no taxpayer money would pay for. And now suddenly there's $1 billion in this budget to pay for his goddamn vanity project. People, speak up. I know not everybody's comfortable marching. I know not everybody's comfortable being the voice of dissent, but call your fucking congressman. Nobody needs to know. You don't have to tell your Trumper brother that you called the congressman and said, please stop this conflict. You don't have to tell your Trumper cousin that you called your congressman and said, let's not pay for this fucking ballroom. But act up, speak up. We cannot keep silent. This is our country's future, our children's future. This is the future of the fucking world. This is talking global recession. Start speaking truth to power.
There we go. Or, just paint something blue and it'll be all okay, right?
Yeah, right.
Who needs a reflecting pool when you can paint it blue? That's all good.
Whatever.
To end in some witchily, spookily good news, ladies and gentlemen, Hocus Pocus 3 is officially happening. It's in development at Disney, aiming for a big screen release this time.
Yay.
It's believed that Kathy Najimy, Bette Midler, and Sarah Jessica Parker will all be returning. We love
Interesting
that.
to see how they keep bringing them back from the dead.
Well, they're witches. You can do that kind of thing. And for witches that make you feel like you're nearly dead, this week saw the 30th anniversary
of the craft.
Talk
about feeling nearly dead.
I know. So we will be doing a very special uncensored horror review on The Craft for next week. as a little bit of a reunion with the girls. We're going to call the corners, we're going to get our covered, and we're going to summon the great boogity spirit.
Boogity.
We would like to thank everyone who has tuned in the last 1,400 episodes, whether it be 1, 100, or 1,400. The reason that we keep doing this is for the people, to make sense of the weird and wonderful world that we live in. We will continue to do so. So thank you for supporting us, the people that do. As I said, if you want to give us a little love and share some love, share the podcast, give us a like, give us a follow, give us a review. Just help us help you and help us help the world in the little way that we do.
And hopefully we're entertaining and informative in some way.
And if not, we make you, we always want to have a conversation. That's the main drive, is that we want people to talk about what's going on in the world and have a conversation, not be afraid to share points of view, and hopefully understand each other a little bit more and realize that we have more in common than we do that separates us. But until next week, this has been UCR Live. Vera will be away next week, ladies and gentlemen.
I will. My nephew's graduating from law school.
So you'll have to tune in to see if it's going to be a solo me or if there's going to be some friends.
Well, I hope you'll have a friend.
You never know in this business. But until then, stay safe, stay in fashion. Don't let the bad guys win. Don't let the good guys win either, apparently. Just give us a break.
Let us win. We need to win. We need to win. Steve and I need to be in the same country again.
One day.
For a hot minute. Bye.